Eco-social learning network vision. We are an evolving network of communitarian associates co-creating a global, experimental collaborative union, dedicated to living our best lives in harmony with one another, animals, and the earth. Through this network, we gather across regions and cultures to share wisdom, knowledge, skills, tools, experiences, and vision for co-creating socially, economically, and ecologically regenerative ways of living. Co-creating sustainable living systems. Through the organized co-creation of sustainable eco-social living systems, grounded in shared provisioning, liberated love, and the practical principles of collaborative union, we aim to demonstrate co-living, co-working, and co-stewarding resources as not only viable, but preferable, cultivating a lifestyle and love style where sharing replaces ownership, and common wealth shared prosperity replaces private gain. Seeding an evolved sustainable social ecology from shared insight. The Learning Network's aim is to co-create a living ecology of shared insight, seeded by past wisdom and further developed through present-day contribution. We envisage the Learning Network as a platform for communitarian associates to draw from the wisdom and lived experiences of the pioneers who came before us. By studying the successes and failures of past communitarian experiments, we seek to identify and articulate the enduring principles that yield a bountiful harvest of transformational social, economic, and ecological renewal. Co-creating the living archive of eco-social principles and practices. The central objective of the Learning Network is to activate a living framework for shared learning. While the learning platform provides the foundational structure, it comes alive through the active contributions of associates. These include original videos, podcasts, written reflections, essays, practical guides, and personal stories that document lived experience, deepen collective wisdom, and support others on the path to communitarian union. Creating and participating in local and online friendship circles. We envision the Learning Network as a living, breathing extension of our collective will, to demonstrate the capacity of socio-economic and ecological stewardship principles to guide real-world practices that regenerate environmental ecosystems, build shared prosperity, and strengthen our bonds with people, animals, and the planet. It begins with our participation in online friendship circles, which form the foundations of regionally networked face-to-face communitarian unions that are rooted in mutual care and a shared willingness to initiate and contribute to practical on-the-ground love in action. Seeding change through collaborative circles, sharing knowledge and skills. Through online friendship circles and face-to-face meetups, we gather to host discussions, provide diet and lifestyle support, as well as collaborate on regionally and globally networked eco-social learning and development projects that involve exchanging knowledge, lived experience, and collective insight. We draw on past wisdom and emerging ideas, test experimental designs, and nurture shared aspirations. This participatory learning weaves the fabric of our relationships and forms the foundation of our shared care for people, animals, and the earth through cooperation, creativity, and collective responsibility. Beyond protest, co-creating life-sustaining socio-economic systems. The Eco-Social Learning Network is a call to rise, not to protest, not to rebuild amongst the rubble and ruins of broken systems, but to co-create evolved life-affirming social, economic, and ecological structures. We invite all who understand the root causes of the failed existing systems to participate in forging new ones through intelligent design, hands-on experimentation, and real-world demonstration. These urgently needed emerging social and economic ecosystems reject personality-driven politics, mob rule, and the profit-driven manipulation that creates scarcity and denies billions the essentials that sustain life. Living the Constitution. Life, liberty, and happiness. Together, we commit to designing life-serving systems grounded in the calculated, cooperative production and fair distribution of all that sustains life. We advocate for constitutional, birthright access to the life supports of clean, green, organically grown living foods, secure shelter, experience expanding, lifelong education, facilitation, and cultivation of creativity, preventative and remedial health care, along with shared renewable energy shared transport hubs, as well as the collaborative experiences that ensure every man, woman, and child has all that they need to live with dignity, security, and joy to fulfill their full potential. Sowing the seeds of love in action. The eco-social learning network exists to gather, nourish, and propagate the shared intellectual capacity of those walking the communitarian path, those who choose common wealth, mutual responsibility, and ecological belonging over privatized survival. It is a place to learn from the pioneers of collaborative living, those who came together, shared, built, failed, loved, and endured. It is a place to study what worked, what needs rethinking and restructuring to rise again. A place where the wisdom of communal trial is not forgotten, but composted into fertile ground for what comes next. The Learning Network's expressed purpose is to disseminate knowledge and share evidence of what becomes possible when we organize our lives around eco-social principles that cultivates every day on the ground practical love in action. Co-creating the eco-social learning network. The Learning Network's central mission is to gather tools, stories, maps, warnings, and big ideas to circulate and sow them as seeds from hearts to hands across the globe. The collaborative platform grows through access and contribution. Associates contribute videos, dialogues, essays, podcasts, and case studies. We document our failures with as much attention to detail as our breakthroughs. We practice better ways of being, together, rather than best practices. We uplift collaborative experiments, rather than promote individual experts to bridge the gap between theory and practical demonstration of collaborative eco-social living, born of liberated love. Incubating social, economic, and ecological renewal. The Learning Network exists to gestate eco-social progression for those ready, willing, and able to prepare for another way of life, where every act of love in common forges a path to social and economic renewal that achieves ecological harmony and integration. We are not students. We are contributors to a shared body of knowledge and skills. We are not passive recipients. We are co-creators of a living commons of insight. We do not seek credentials. We seek connection, contribution, and collective capacity. Many hearts and hands cultivating relational support systems that achieve social and ecological regeneration through collaborative contribution to practical love in action projects. Our vision is to co-create a global learning network without structures or hierarchies that compromise or impede participation and contribution across cultures, geographies, and generations. Rooted in a culture of reciprocity, the Learning Network is devoted to the long labor of building relational support systems through acts of love in common, guided by the practice of deep union for one another and for the conservation and regeneration of the earth. Bringing the vision to fruition. This vision is not a fixed blueprint. Rather, it is an invitation. Each of us carries a piece of the puzzle to what comes next, shaping it through ways and willingness to support each other to contribute to co-creating this much-needed collaborative learning platform. Together we make a start on building out the eco-social learning network when we initiate conversations by asking bold questions, along with documenting and sharing our trials and triumphs. With hearts and minds aligned, let's journey toward a world renewed through our shared commitment to one another, animals, and the earth. Join the Eco-Social Learning Network. If this vision speaks to you, we invite you to reach out and connect. Across the globe, vegans just like you are coming together to co-create a future grounded in mutual care and shared purpose. The Eco-Social Learning Network is more than an idea. It's an evolving, growing movement. We invite you to take the next step. Begin by connecting with others across the globe online, before progressing to participate or form a local friendship circle in your part of the world. Share your experiences, perspectives, skills, stories, and vision. On the Communitarian Union web platform, access a myriad of free learning resources, as well as creating and contributing your own. Whether you're a gardener, a maker, have the will and want to step into the role of facilitator, or eager to learn, the network welcomes your participation and contribution. Together, we can begin to regenerate our communities and our planet. Visit our website, join the conversation, and help seed the next chapter of our shared journey.